Thank you very much, IR Magazine and Neil, for inviting me to share some of the things that we did, I think, in this year. Happy to report that I think 2014 was really a very exciting year for URPAS with a significant high-level activity. We actually organized 8 events, which saw a very good turnout. And I think among each of these, well, to give some example, we had one on a sharing by a fund manager, Simon Weston from CLSA. We had Tauken Communication talking about social media. We had Mark Laudy from Hong Bao Media talking about, are you ready to face the analysts and media? And then we had a session with NASDAQ on measuring II effectiveness. Orient Capital gave a talk on strategic investor relations in Asia. And then we had a very interesting session with LinkedIn on networking and telling yourself through LinkedIn. And then we did then a roundtable called Corporate Reporting Leveling Up. And here we actually touched on the subject of integrated reporting, which I think you'll probably hear quite a lot about in the coming year. And we round off actually our activity for 2014. We term it the so-called our URPAS year event. And we had the honor of having Mrs. Moneypenny from the Financial Times. And she was talking of the market for investor relations officer and career development opportunities. And of course, the highlight of that was a raffle lucky draw. So I think quite a lot of people went back pretty happy.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, you know, and looking back, so this is a look at your integrated reporting roundtable, and I want you to look at Harold's face in each of these photos. Look at Harold's face there, Harold's face there, and going back to this one. You're always laughing, Harold. You're very happy man. And a great publication that came out of the roundtable a year ago. Excellent white paper. I mean, URPAS is obviously really, as we say in the States, punching above its weight. You're doing a fantastic job. Tell us about the membership growth, where you've come and where you're hoping to go. Okay.
To give you an update, at the moment, I think we have about 77 so-called corporate memberships. That's comprising about 196 individual members. So actually we have 3 different categories. We've got about 53 corporate members, which is all either listed in the SGX. And in fact, we have 2 foreign companies, I think, from Jakarta on our corporate membership list. We got 9 supporting members, and these are mainly service providers, such as the like of NASDAQ and Orient Capital, to give examples. And of course, then we have 15 individual members. Individual members are basically either sole entrepreneurs or sole proprietorship, or people who has an interest in IR, but are not a listed company. Yeah. So I'm also happy to announce that recently we had a board meeting. I think the board has decided that we're going to change some of the terms and conditions. Singapore is actually quite unique because we looked around and we actually identified there were 18 groups, and particularly I think it's dominated by the real estate sector. But you know, for example, if I could use the example of CapitaLand itself, we pioneered the REIT in Singapore. So CapitaLand is a listed company, but within our stable, we actually got 4 listed REITs in Singapore, namely CMT's, CRCT, CCT, and ART. So while I think URPAS is a non-profit organization, to us membership fees is important. Of course, we do get financial support from the SGX, but if we were to force, or rather, we thought that we are good, as a gesture of goodwill, to try and attract more members and get more of the REITs particularly and the subsidiary companies of other listed holding companies to join us. So what we're going to do is, rather than on top of the $750 for corporate membership, which allows you to have 5 appointed nominees, we're going to create this scheme called a group scheme, where if one of the member is already a URPAS member, it's either your subsidiary or associated companies or your REITs, you could join us under this group scheme. It will be a supplementary membership, and you only pay $400 for a full year, and you can have 3 nominees. of course, the nominees are transferable, but within the organization. So I think with that, and this is only valid for, we'll keep this so-called special introduction for 2015 and 2016. So I think with that, we hope that we'll see an increase in membership on the back of this attractive package.
I mean, the best thing about that group scheme is that no company will benefit more than Capital Land, right? You're going to save a lot of money
No,
on
that's
your
not
membership
true.
fees.
No, not
You've
true.
got so many
No,
operating
there are a few of my peers here, like the Fraser Group, the OUE Group. But as I said, it is dominated by, real estate, because real estate, we created REITs. Some of us has created business trusts.
Excellent. Okay. Harold, a significant event this past year, exams for certificate, right, in investor relations. Tell us a bit about that.
That's something very close to our heart. And I think we're very pleased to report that we actually conducted our first exam in October. It's actually called the International Certificate in Investor Relations. We administer it on behalf of the IRS, which is the IR Society in London. It's recognized, obviously, in the UK and throughout Europe. Let me give you some statistics. We actually had 30 individuals signing up for the exams, of which 23 are set for it in October. And very pleased to report that out of the 23 candidates, we had a passing rate of 96%. There was only one unsuccessful candidate, and there will be 8 more sitting for this exam before the end of this year. So I think on the back of that success, we are very encouraged. And I was in London last week, and I actually popped round to see John Gulliver, who was the ex-IRO of the SGX, and he's actually the general manager of the IR Society in the UK. And they will have the new curriculum, because they update their curriculum every year, and by February it'll be ready. So I think we are targeting to launch, to conduct another exam sometime in April. We are mindful it won't clash with the AGM session, which most December year-end companies will be affected. And then we hope to do another exam sometime in October. So for those who are aspiring to enter into the field of investor relations, and this is a good entry level. It is recognized, as I said, throughout Europe. And you have the honor of putting the acronym of ICIR on your name card if you are successful.
Fantastic to hear news of John Gulliver, for everybody who knows him from his last job here at SGX, doing extraordinarily well in London at the head of the IR Society there. Very interesting role for him, and really taking on the challenge and doing a fantastic job. Harold, just to wrap up, Mr. Cheng talked about sustainability reporting, and that's going to be an initiative for IRPAS over the coming year. Is that right? Could you just sum that up, what you've got planned?
Yes, I think we actually had that roundtable where I think one of our service provider, supporting member, Cedric Richardson, and talk about sustainability. So I think we intend to do a lot more of this. I wouldn't call it networking. We label it networking, but really it's more of a workshop or a teach-in. And I think we're happy to get some of our supporting corporate members to share their experiences and to provide guidance to help corporates to implement their sustainability report.
And working with CIMA, are you able to talk about that?
It's a bit premature, but we are actually in close negotiations. That's an extension, as I said, of introducing integrated reporting. As you know, there are only 2 companies at the moment that have actually embarked. One is a DBS. They have actually started integrated reporting. SGX is working, and they started on their journey. But I think in due course, we see a lot of companies, starting on this initiative. So I think we hope to provide some insight. And in fact, I had the pleasure of meeting the CEO of the IIRC. For those who are not familiar, IIRC is the International Integrated Reporting Council. The CEO is a gentleman called Paul Drucker, and he, in fact, will be coming to Singapore, I think, sometime in October next year. And there'll be a very big roundtable where I think, and certainly I think, Monetary Authority of Singapore, the accounting profession in Singapore, is very much behind this initiative to promote integrated reporting, which I think is deemed to be a very good, a fair system to report to all stakeholders, not just your your shareholders, but also the wider stakeholders on how value is created by a corporation and how you can be a good corporate citizen. Thank you.
Excellent. Harold Wu, President of URPAS, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Coming. Great to see you.